Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me, and a warm welcome to you to Hackenbroch's Helpful Half Hour, based, of course, on the name of Hancock's Half Hour, but that's not a name that we'll be using this evening. Tonight, we're delighted to be able to welcome a very dear friend and special guest, and we're delighted that she's been able to make some time in a hectic work schedule to join us. And that, of course, is the one and only Helen Gelbier of Woodside Park and beyond Spain. Helen is a behavioral change health coach specializing in weight loss. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Warm welcome for Helen. Helen, good evening and welcome.
Hi.
Relax. It's only me and you having a conversation and another 3,000 people. Anyway. So, Helen, we're delighted. Thank you for joining us this evening. Last week, we were with the vet and the pets. This week, we're discussing about such an important topic that I think it really, really impacts and resonates with each and every one of us. Perhaps you'd like to start by just sharing with us what exactly is a behavioral change health coach?
Okay. Okay, so behavioural change coaching helps people to achieve a long-term, total holistic life transformation by concentrating on their behaviours and behavioural changes, as this is what directly influences our health. It's done in a really calm, manageable way. We look at diet, we look at exercise, and we look at someone's mindset, which are their beliefs, their thoughts, their emotions, as primarily these are what influence someone's behaviours and our daily actions, really. As a coach, I mainly help kind of busy women, stressed women, who are juggling life and so much in their lives. And over the years, they just tend to put themselves bottom of the list when it comes to self-care. So they get to the point where they're struggling with their weight. They're not happy with how they look, how they feel. They lose their identity. And they try and justify it by saying kind of, this is how it is as we get older. We're supposed to kind of lose that. So with coaching, I guide them and support them through a journey of not only losing weight, but feeling happier, gaining energy, body confidence, knowing about food, knowing about exercise, sleeping better. And it's all done in a really calm way. So basically, coaching is a long-term total change to better health. And it's not a diet. It's not a quick fix diet. That's definitely what it is. And it's a very calm, and we're doing it together.
Life changes. You know what? It sounds something that's right up my street. And certainly I need this framework, this strategy to feel better, to look better. You're meant to say at this stage, no, you don't. Anyways, tell us, Helen, a bit about what made you become a health coach. After all, you know, you were a fitness coach before this. What made you take on this new role?
It's funny you said that before, because everyone needs coaching. I think everyone, no matter what level they are, needs some guidance and support. So what led me? Basically, I wasn't happy since teenager. I wasn't happy with my weight, my size, how I felt. Up until kind of adulthood and having kids, I yo-yo dieted. I did the classic sort of on it, off it. And then when I was kind of on it at some point, I discovered running. And it was really my thing. It was a good release. It was a good thing. I just got into it, and I kept pushing. Eventually, I did a half marathon, which was so way beyond anything I could believe. And it was actually as I got through the finish line, I kind of had this kind of thought of, I know what I want to do. I want to help other people feel like me and achieve and change. So I trained, became a PT. training fitness. Then realised and did that quite successfully. Then realised I wanted to improve my kind of knowledge of food. So I trained in advanced nutrition for weight loss, got my diploma. But I still wasn't in a great place. I may have looked at other people and they may have thought, oh, you look right, you look great, you're exercising like nuts. But that was the problem. I was exercising like nuts. I was really obsessive and I just wasn't really mentally in the right place. And actually, that's the missing piece of the jigsaw is the mind. And that's what sorted me and got me into some sort of peace and clarity and calm and really in balance and with my health, mental and physical. So I trained up to become a coach, and that deals with that whole area. And yeah, that's the whole package of health, in my opinion.
Right. So what we're hearing is that there is no this idea of having a quick fix and going on that diet or this fitness program. It's really short-termism. It's not really going to bring about the changes. Long-term change and feeling good in oneself. Is that what we're saying, Helen?
Yeah, it's just unsustainable to do a quick fix.
Right. Okay. So the next question I've got from one of our viewers is about their fitness levels. Of course, during lockdown, they've declined and they've even gained a few pounds, even without a Woodside Park Kiddish. How fast can they or can you help them get fit and turn their life around?
Yeah, I'm hearing this so much that over lockdown, and actually people have used it a little bit as an excuse, like lockdown, let themselves go. But it has been a problem. And a lot of people are struggling with this. Our bodies adapt and change really quickly if we set our minds to doing something and we're consistently making small improvements regularly. And the key is consistency. You can't dip in and dip out. You can't do it 1 week on, 1 week off. It's consistency along with a plan of action. And as anything new, the hardest bit is starting. The hardest part is being motivated to start. Most people, as you said before, they jump in 100%. They want to get healthier, so they jump into a diet plan and they restrict everything. They change everything. They go nuts with exercise. They go full on in. And the problem is you just burn out and it's boring, doesn't fit in with your life. It's not you. It's not natural. And really, you're starting it waiting, can't wait for it to end. Oh, I can't wait for this this diet to end so I can go back to normal. This is different approach. So really people can change really quickly, but the best way for long-term weight loss and good health is a slow, gradual progression, slow changes, little goals, getting it done, progression each week. And we change and our body adapts and we do change. And wonderful, amazing results, and they're lifelong because you just want to continue. You end feeling great. So yeah, which is what we all want. I think one of the things that I've heard time and again from you and many others is the fact that we have to drink. Drinking water, right, is seen to be quite important. Tell us a bit about that, because I'll be honest, we all live life, at a frenetic pace, and inevitably, we have a cup of tea, a coffee in the morning, maybe another coffee at lunchtime. How important is drinking to this new life regime that you're suggesting? Yeah, well, water makes up 75% of our body. It's like every single cell in our body is made up of water. We need it to function well. And it's one of those things. How much do I have to drink? How much do I have to drink? Okay, 6 to 8 glasses a day. That's about 2 litres is the ideal. More in hot weather, more if exercising. It's one of these things that if you're not having any, 1 or 2 glasses is better. If you're having, that's the ideal. amount.
Yeah. So we should be walking around with one of those bottles that I see people with. I should be walking around with a bottle and drinking, like a liter or whatever it is of that.
Yeah, or tagging it onto something. So when you're doing a certain job, or you're getting in the car, you're having something, or you're preparing a meal, you have a glass then. And I mean, we really need it when we're not in a good place. Every single function of our body works with water, and all our gut health, digestion, our skin, our immunity. It's just, we just need to have water. And so you can get it in other ways. You can eat your water as well through vegetables and fruit. But then you've got some foods that are diuretics, some drinks are diuretics, which kind of work in reverse. So it's not an exact, it's not an easy science, but basically 6 to 8 glasses water a day and you're sorted.
Okay, that seems doable, palatable. So I don't know if you remember, but Jackie Mason, the epitome of fit and health and health, he was once asked about diet and about fitness and going to the gym. I can see you've already started.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't planned.
Yeah, I've got my cup. Don't worry, I'm catching you up. Anyways, back to Jackie Mason was once asked, he said, listen, I see these people, they go to the gym and they come out looking like this. He said, me, I look like this. I look perfect. So tell me, we all live very busy lives. And, the thought of having to fit in another thing and go to the gym, do I actually need a gym? I always hear about people going to the gym to maintain their fitness. Do I actually need to go to the gym, or can I just walk around Woodside Park and do the hills? Is that enough?
No, you definitely don't need to join a gym or have expensive kind of exercise equipment. Right. We can easily introduce movement into our days, but it does take a little bit of thought, and it does take a little bit of planning our days and our time schedule. There's so much. We can walk, we can run, we can jog, we can cycle, we can climb stairs, we can wash cars or wash our car, do our gardening, we can do housework. You really build up a sweat washing a car and mowing the lawn and doing housework. Family time can be planned around exercise. Going to work, taking the kids on the school run can be planned. The walk can be planned then. Tracking steps just to get an idea is really good. What measure we can manage. We know what we're doing. There's plenty of free online stuff, kind of routines for all levels, even seated. But obviously, if you have a medical complaint or anything, then check, you're not used to exercising, then check with a doctor first that it's okay. I'm not going to knock having a PT or joining a gym, because they're awesome and you're less likely to get an injury, and they are awesome. But it's definitely not necessary. And really, we have to look at our time schedule. We have 168 hours in the week. Take off 8 hours a night sleep. Travel and work 10 hours a day, 3 hours of social time and family time, 2 hours a day of food time, prepping food. That leaves 27 hours a week.
27 hours you have left to learn Torah with the rabbi. Okay, now after you finish that, I'm going to send you to Helen.
Okay, Helen, so 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day. Can be
how much should we be doing? 20 minutes a day. And when you say
the guidelines, government guidelines are 150 minutes a week.
Wow.
So
exercise means different things to different people. For some, you see them up Lullington Garth and they're schwitzing away. Others are having a casual, walk. What are we trying to do? Because exercise is defined by different people in different ways. So what exactly do you define as somebody having done exercise?
Okay, so you have to raising the heart rate is great, because it really gets the metabolism going, it gets us heated, it gets the body functioning. But any mobility is good for our bones and our strength and our heart and our lungs and our circulation. So any mobility is good, and it depends what your starting point is from. But for example, if you want to tone your legs or your glutes, Then find some hills, find some stairs, get going up and down those stairs and hills, and that really just get hot, a little bit of a sweat,
a bit of exertion, a bit of effort.
Yeah, you got to puff a little bit. Like you can speak a sentence, but you're going a little bit like that.
Right. If you want to get your heart rate up and you don't want to do all that exercise, just come to the Shaw board meetings. You'll also get your heart rate up. But seriously, we are now suggesting.
I remember them.
You're in recovery. 20 minutes a day of where you've exerted yourself, everyone in their own way and their own level, and getting your heart rate going. Sounds great. Okay, and sounds very doable, to be honest. Walk the dog is another way we didn't mention.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my dog.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, the community is coming back together, and Kiddushim are now on the menu. So the question really is, about those that like to have a little l'chaim, right? Do they have to give up their Scotch corner, their whiskey, their wee dram in order to have this health lifestyle plan?
No.
Wow.
No, alcohol is some alcohol is okay for us. There are some health benefits. Generally, alcohol is not good for us. But there are safe limits.
Okay.
The safe limit for man and woman is 14 units per week. Right. Spread over a few days. That's not actually that much. It's about kind of 4 glasses of wine. Of large glasses of wine. So it's not that much, but that's 14 units or so, but it's calorific. So you've got that as well, what you're having. But to have a whiskey, have a little l'chaim, no, it's fine.
They're not going to have big glasses of whiskey here, I can assure you.
No. But when they get home,
when they get home, that's when the trouble starts. So we just spoke about Shabbos and Yom Tov and treats. Okay, when it comes to Shabbos and Yom Tov, we all like to indulge ourselves. Birthdays and simchas, we will go out for those, or we used to go out for special occasions. So are we allowed to have the little treats and cheats, or is that off the table? What do you say?
No, it just definitely can have them, but it depends on the quantity and how often. It's better to have a smaller amount and adjust how you're eating during the rest of the week than to restrict and say, I'm just not having any.
Yes.
It would be a really boring and miserable life if we were just to say, I'm not having any of the food we love and I'm feeling guilty about having it. However, it's also really easy to let go and say, I've actually heard someone in Kiddush go, there's no calories on Shabbos, it's all right, it's fine. I mean, it adds up really fast, have a bit of challah, don't have the whole challah. It's the challah, the rugulach, the chillin, the whole package, it's everything. And sometimes come September, there's Yom Tovim all the time. I mean, we've got Shabbos every week. So treats in moderation, be aware of what you're having, awareness is key, and happy balance, really.
Yeah, that I think resonates with me, and I think with a lot of the viewers, that you can have your cake in moderation and eat it. You don't need to go to extremes, right?
Well, all these things are delicious, so you've got to have a bit. It's kind of be really kind of sad if you say no, but it's knowing what you're having. It's awareness. Okay. Everything with coaching is awareness. Right,
awareness of what you're putting, of what you're doing and what you're eating and what you're doing.
Everything, what you're doing, how you're thinking, how you're acting, the reasons behind it, what's in what, why, the decisions you're making. I mean, the whole thing is, once you're aware, awareness is the first step to change.
Fantastic. One of the questions that people often ask me, I don't know why they think I know anything about fitness, but is they always say to me, I'd love to go on a diet when they come to have their confession, but healthy food doesn't taste quite as good as the chulent and the kegan and the chicken. In your experience, can people live a healthy life and an enjoyable life in terms of tasty foods?
Yes, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the reason why tasty foods taste tastier, is generally the flavors in the fat and the sugar. Most things are that's the addictiveness. That's the bit that we love. And I mean, there are kind of great alternative recipes. There's great healthier food, but the old classics are the old classics. And the thing is that in the olden days, they did have the bit of fat and they did have the sugar, they did have the things, but we had them once in a blue moon. We had them once a week. Now you can have them to your heart's content. You can eat them all day, every day, if you really want to. So no, the flavour of like the old classic rugula, chulad, kugel is the old. It's just, once again, it's proportion, but you can't get that flavour really.
Yeah, but it's in proportion and size of portions. No, don't you think that's noticeable? I notice the size of people's portions has, expanded recently.
Yeah, along with waistlines. Definitely. I think. It's we eat so much more than we used to many years ago. Look back historically, our portion sizes are much bigger. Much bigger now. And we have stuff available all the time. We want quick food quickly. We want it now. We the whole preparation, the whole process is different to what it was. Yeah.
I think one of the difficulties, I mean, I'm going to walk into I'm going to walk in your confession box now, okay, is that sometimes when you get really stressed, okay, when you've got intense pressure, okay, late at night, I have to admit, I do rely quite heavily on the chocolate and the other pleasantries, all the bad foods. The junk food, late at night, junkies, that's what we do. How can I combat that when that's my release, my outlet, when I'm dealing with stress and pressures at work? Help me, Helen.
This is really common. There's also a habit element to it, that is what you go to because you're used to going to it. So there's that as well, and there's a label attached to comfort, association of comfort which we place upon food, which actually can come from our past and when we're young. So that can be there. Also, when we're stressed and tired, our bodies want fast energy, and what's faster than sugary stuff, fatty stuff? It gives us a kick. It gives us a flood of energy, and that's what your body's craving. And these things are a bit addictive. So the best kind of way of combating this is to once again gain awareness of the trigger to our stress, and then we can kind of plan a new outlook for it. Maybe exercise, meditation, pray, have a bath, listen to music, draw, write, read. And also, if we've got that awareness of the trigger, we can plan our food a bit more. We can plan what we've got there. We can plan our meals, so we're not getting to that point of hunger, extreme hunger. Also, knowing where the understanding where the kind of stress is coming from and the cause of the stress, and maybe it's tiredness and exhaustion, and there are other things, and really looking at stopping that and trying to look at that. So this is where coaching does come in. It looks at our emotions, it looks at our beliefs, and it looks at all these kind of causes, our sleep, our stress levels, anxiety. All these things have such an effect on our actions. So
no, that's really, really helpful. And I think also that, it's about taking back control of our lives. When you're tired and when you're stressed, I speak for myself, you're sitting there and you just don't have this, you don't have the self-control and restraint to be able to say no. And if it's on the table, guys, you're going to eat it. Okay. If the cooking jar is there,
I'm no different. Everyone has that. I'm not a different kind of character. Everyone looks and goes, "Oh, you've got it perfect." I mean, we're all human. We all have the same impulses.
Yeah, but if it's there, Helen, I'm telling you, Danielle Brawl will tell you. A few weeks ago, there were 5 or 6 chocolate bars at the kiddish, and the community watched as they slowly, well, I wouldn't even say slowly, embarrassingly, very quickly disappeared because it was in front of me and I can't resist chocolate. So if you have it in front of you on your desk or in your cupboard, then you're definitely going to end up going there. But if, for example, you have healthy snacks, fruit, veg, then that's what you're going to go for. No, Helen?
And your 3 other meals are substantial. They're good quality. They're keeping you full and that you're not hungry, and they're structured, so they're giving you the energy you need. I mean, they have to be full of all the food groups. You can't kind of restrict and otherwise just feel exhausted and there's so many kind of facets to this. But it's not difficult. It's just having that awareness, having the knowledge and knowing how to plan for it.
It sounds actually really, really phenomenal, because it changes your whole person, right?
Yeah, but it comes from the head. You can't throw yourself into exercise and expect to change, because it all comes from the mind first, then the food. If you're talking weight loss, the mind first, then the food. Exercise, really important, really good for us, but actually won't cancel out the others. That isn't the job done.
Got it. I've got it. Well, I've got to tell you, Helen, I want to thank you so much. We've learned we've learned an incredible amount this evening, about basically getting the right balance, striking the right balance in our lives in terms of our health and in terms of weight loss and in terms of the behavior that we need to have, and making that paradigm shift so that we can ensure that from the mind to the body, we are all in sync. And I'm sure that, anyone that wants to be in touch knows where to find you, and I'm sure they will, I hope people will take advantage of your wise counsel and support and coaching. But I'd just like to thank you on behalf of all of those that asked questions and all of our viewers this evening for joining us and enlightening us with so much wisdom and wise counsel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank in your behalf Helen Gelbier for this evening, who spoke about behavioral change and specializing in weight loss. Helen, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening. All the best.